Y'all ready? In fact, let me start from the beginning. I will now proceed to explain what the big life announcement is. Once upon a time, there was this girl that was born in Mexico. The story starts in... I'm kidding. I'm not gonna go that far back. Vtubing. That's the name of my community. Okay, so here's what's happening, Chad. Also, hello, Phantom. Welcome. Yeah. As you guys know, I've said this before a few times. I've been in disability for a year. Due to many things with health. I recently got let go from my job because I ran out of leave of absence. They gave me all the time they could give me legally for me being away from there. And eventually they let me go because I'm unable to return to work because I am not healed. As of yet. Let me silence my phone because it's making a lot of fucking noise. Shut up, phone. Anyways. And so, as such, during this time, I got to explore what it's like to be a full-time VTuber or full-time content creator in general. It's something that I had always considered. Something that I had said before that I wanted to pursue. But when you have a full-time job, you know, and I'm head of household too, you know, I'm in charge of making money. More or less, my SO is has a disability as well. They get extreme migraines and they cannot work. Debilitating migraines. So as such, I've been taking the load of being the person in charge of making money for several years, and I devoted my life, about a decade or so, to the last job I've had for this company that I just left. And during this time, I completely fucked up my health. I worked so hard and so much for this company that I completely dismissed my health in any way, shape, and form. I was working while doing, you know, part-time school and full-time streaming and full-time work. I did that for a few years as well. I finally graduated from school in 2021 with my bachelor's degree in MIS. And when I was doing that, you know, I got used to sleeping 3 to 4 hours a day. That was my normal day. You know, just sleeping 3-4 hours. You know, getting a whole lot of rest. In May of last year, I had 2 things happen to me. My foot was hurting to a degree that I couldn't walk. And I had a mental breakdown. I literally had a panic attack. So I couldn't continue. I couldn't continue working. I had to take some time off. I first took a day, then it became 3 days, then it became 5 days. Then it became a week, you know? And then my boss was like, what the fuck? And then I finally had a talk, and he suggested that I get some kind of short-term disability or something. Because I had, you know, so many things going on. So eventually I did decide to do that. I pursued that option, and it was granted to me. At first I thought, you know, I'm just gonna do this for days, a few days, a month, I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna quit this job, regain my health, and, do something else, do something different. But, it didn't work out that way. About a month after I had been out on disability, my tendon on my arm popped off my bone. I had to have surgery for that. Put me further into disability. And well, long story short, I ended up disabled for even right now. And all of this was a result of not taking care of my health, both mental and physical. Because like I said, I sort of just gave every part, every energy I had to both streaming and my job. And I didn't factor in any time for health. Any time for, staying alive kind of thing. So, hey Harley, how are you doing, honey? The victim of all this was I had a year to heal, and unfortunately, my arm and my leg are not fully healed. I get a lot of pain in my arm still. I am still unable to drive. And my foot got so bad, I had to have surgery 2 weeks ago. So, all of this is ongoing when it comes to my health, but the positive thing is, I got to see the positive side of stuff, and the positive side of things was you guys, community, streaming, Vtubing, even Vtubing, all kinds of content that I do, from lewd to not lewd. It all has been healing and wonderful for me. I am passionate about doing this kind of thing. I love having the opportunity to give people a space to belong and a space to make their days better. Ever since I discovered YouTube, like back in the days of 2009 when Ray William Johnson was a top YouTuber and then Markiplier later on, and I always watch these people doing content and making a living out of it. And I was like, man, that would be nice. That would be nice to be able to do something that you're passionate about and making money out of it. But it always seemed like an impossible dream. Something that cannot be achieved by me. Because what do? I'm useless. I didn't do anything. I don't have any special talents or whatever. That's how I think for myself anyways. But this year, haven't had a chance to be full-time in streaming has changed my mind, because it really has shown me that it's a viable path. If you really want it, you pursue it. There's nothing on life that says that you have to do a 9 to 5, that you have to do a regular job, that is your destiny, that you have no choice. Because that's what depressed me so hard. Because I felt trapped by this American dream thing, Oh, have a job, go to college. You'll get a nice office position and you'll get paid lots of money. And you're gonna have a wonderful time and you'll have a big house and all of these things. But nobody tells you about the debt, and the anxiety and the stress, and everything that comes along with that. And I'm not saying that, doing content creation is not going to bring you stress. It's a difficult thing too. There's a lot of stress portions to streaming and content creation. It's kind of like being married to your job, in a sense, because ever since I've been doing it full time, I put in 40 to 60 hours a week on streaming, plus editing videos, recording stuff, social media management, and all of this stuff. But the thing is, I'm not depressed. I don't dread doing it. I don't get up in the morning and dread, oh my god, I gotta go back to the hell fucking place, like I used to with any job I've had. And don't get me wrong, the jobs I had, having good paying jobs. I was a manager, I worked for, I don't work there anymore, that's why I can tell you that. And so they pay well, they get great benefits. But I was miserable. Every fiber of my being, I was completely miserable. To the point that it destroyed me, physically and mentally. Okay, so, where does this lead me? My disability, the way that it works, you get a check for being disabled through my employer. And now that I cannot return to work, I had to apply for disability through the government because I'm still unable to work. So, in August of this year is the last check I have guaranteed. After August, if they renew my disability, perfect, I'll have more. And it will help me get along. But if they don't, a big chunk of my income will be gone. Am I making money in streaming? Yes. Am I making enough? No. Not yet. I'm slowly growing it, but it's not at that level yet. So, for the first time in 5 years of me streaming, I'm finally getting success. I'm finally seeing a more significant growth. I've always had growth, don't get me wrong, but I'm finally getting more significant growth, more significant numbers, significantly more so than ever before. And this is lining up at the same time where my disability thing's about to end. And again, that may be renewed or not, but I cannot make any plans on that because I don't know what will happen. So I always, I've been raised to assume and plan for the worst. I had to plan as if I'm not gonna get any more money and I need to see what I'm gonna do next, right? So it's time for adult. This is where you make the hard decisions. I'm an adult, right? What do I do next? And here's the decisions, right? I can A, find another job and somehow work even though I technically can't because I can't drive. So it has to be from home. And by doing that, I would have to give up 50% of the time, at least, that I dedicate to streaming, if not more, which would tank me. So I'll have to make the choice of say, well, I'm gonna have a job now, so fuck streaming, even though I'm growing it right now. I would basically relinquish and give up on the growth I've had. Because no matter what, when you stop being present and when you stop the consistency, the numbers drop. This is the way that streaming works. And I'm a human being, like, there's only so many hours in the day. And before, in order to stream and to work, I was not sleeping. Simple, I was simply not sleeping. 3 to 4 hours a day, that's it. But I can't do that anymore. You know, now, if I don't sleep my 8 hours, I feel like shit. Like I finally understood what it feels like to get rest. Because now I've been doing streaming full time and getting my full rest. And I feel wonderful each time. And my health has increased significantly. Like when all this started, chat, I had really high cholesterol, anxiety issues. Well, I still have that, but I had high blood pressure. Really bad. And I was pre-diabetic. That was in September of last year. All of this is due to stress. All of these things are stress related. And lack of rest too. And I did more blood work in April of this year after not having to deal with that god-awful job. All of that shit went down by half. Like literally, everything is better. Just from being away from that place. My cholesterol in half, my high blood pressure in half than it was a year ago. Everything's so much better. And also I'm sleeping right. And my mental health is much better. So then, this is where the hard decision comes, right? Because like, what do I do, right? Do I have to take a 9 to 5? And I started thinking about these things. Why do I need a 9 to 5? Because I have a mortgage that I have to pay. And I had to pay the light bill. And I had to pay the water. And I had to pay all these things. It costs me like $3,500 just to exist. No eat, no food, nothing. Just the mortgage plus the bills. That's what it costs to exist in this country, in my situation. And that's not even eating or water or gas. That's literally just light, mortgage, and other utilities. And so what's tying me back, right? What is all this? So here comes where the thoughts are starting going into a different direction. I have some friends that live in Spain. Some that live in other countries, and it's significantly less expensive to exist in. You know, countries out there that you can live on, you know, $30,000 a year, $20,000 a year, even less on some. And I have some friends that do streaming full time and they don't have to make a lot because they live in a country, but they don't need a lot. And then I remember, bitch, you didn't even go here. You didn't even run here. You came here at 14 years old. This is not even your country. Don't get me wrong. I love the US. I'm a proud American citizen. But I wasn't born here. I don't have any need to stay here when it's costing me so much. It's costing me everything. Instead of giving me American dream, it's taking my dreams away because I can't afford it. It's so expensive. And a lot of that is my own fault. Because I'm materialistic. And because in my younger days, I made stupid decisions with money. And I have a lot of debt. And so that eats me. And that eats me alive. And it keeps me working and working and working. And so here's the thing. This house that I have, that I'm paying a mortgage on, the value has increased significantly for my own personal reasons. I'm not gonna tell you how much more. But let's just say that it's, if I sell this house, I can pay enough of my debt and have some money to move the fuck out of here. My mom has a house in Mexico that is completely paid off. Light bill, water, over there costs peanuts compared to what the costs are here. In that city where my mom's house is, you can live comfortably, including rent, for $15,000 a year. And I'm not even going to have rent. So, what is the decision? I am going back home. Fuck all this shit. I am done. Fuck this place. I am done. I am done. I am leaving. I'm leaving the United States. And I'm going back to Mexico. That's it. That's the announcement. But now, why am I doing that specifically? Because I want to do this full time. Remember what I said earlier? You're looking at Ray William Johnson, Markiplier, Iron Mouse, all of these people that make money from content creation. And I don't even want to be that big. I just want to be comfortable and have money to eat food. That's it. I don't need to be the biggest VTuber. I don't need to be no anonymous or nothing. I just, want to eat. That, for me, it's not something that I can reasonably pursue in the United States. But in Mexico, where I can live on $15,000 a year or less, and my mom has a paid off house, and where light bill is like $50 instead of $350, and my cell phone bill is $25 instead of $500. And I don't have a mortgage. And food costs nothing. Groceries cost nothing. And food is healthier. Everything's more delicious. Everything has less chemicals. Everything is organic. By default over there. It's just the way it is. And that's where I'm from. And if I'm there, I can realistically pursue this. I can realistically be a streamer and not have to worry about a 9 to 5, and I slowly build myself and keep grinding the shit until it becomes good enough to where I'm comfy. I'm okay with being uncomfortable and staying in a much smaller house, giving up my comfort. I'm making sacrifices because I have a big house here, Chad. We're in a comfortable house. We're going to a much smaller one, a smaller town, smaller room, smaller everything. Sacrifices have been made, but I'm doing that because I want to pursue what I used to think was impossible. Which is doing this. So, it's a little bit scary. It's not an easy decision. Just having here a long time. I have a lot of friends. Sorry. It's a hard thing to do. But I think for me, it's the best thing to do. Changes like this are absolutely fucking massive. And it's not gonna be easy. It's gonna take a lot of things that I need to get done, but most of the things are already in motion. The house is already being listed on sale. I've already talked to the realtor. He already came to the house. We already discussed what we need to do. There's some fixings that need to be done to the home within the next week or so. Next 2 weeks maybe. Once those fixings are done, the house will be listed. And as soon as it sells, I'm fucking gone.